So what's with the Warhammer 40k adaptation by Henry Cavill? Let's find out. Hi everybody, and welcome to another video. Well then, my dear friends, please do look at the screen. Oh yes, we are going to talk about some Warhammer 40k today. And if you've been following my channel for quite some time, you know that I have just recently got into Warhammer. At this point of time, as of making of this video, I'm still a newbie. I'm still starting to discover the glorious world of the grim dark in the 41st millennium. The Emperor protects. Oh yes, as of making of this video, I've just finished the Magos novel, which of course is kind of a sequel to the Eisenhorn trilogy by Dan Abnett. And so you can imagine that my knowledge of the Warhammer 40k universe is not as wide as some of, the knowledge of you, my dear followers and subscribers. However, I remembered that there was supposed to be an adaptation of some sort, which, is going to be produced, and he is going to star in it by Henry Cavill, whom we know very well as the Superman from the latest DC Universe films, and also as Geralt of Rivia from the abhorrent of that extremely bad The Witcher adaptation on Netflix. And so I went, oh, another adaptation, because once again, if you know European law, you know very well that I'm not very fond of adaptations. As a matter of fact, if it were up to me, I would not make any more adaptations of anything ever again, until the end of the world. However, it is not up to me, and I thought that we could, together, discover some news, if there is some progress. Because my prediction is that we might see it in the future, but it's going to take a couple of years before everything is decided and before they actually know what to do with such a vast universe. Now, already, as a newbie, I know that to go through everything that I want to go through, all the novels, all the lore, all the stories that I want to read, is going to take me a long, long time. And so to just pick something from that and make it into, I would say, probably a TV show, maybe even a movie, it's extremely difficult. So I found this article, which is quite recent, from June the 18th, 2024. So as of making of this video, it's like a week old. And it says, there is no greater reason Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40k dream can escape the female custodies controversy by choosing another all-female faction. This has, of course, come to my attention, that there has been a retcon recently in the Games Workshop and, the world of Warhammer 40k, and the custodies who previously had not, been female, they now contain female custodies. It seems to me that this is like the only controversy in the Games Workshop in the Warhammer 40k universe, which compared to, for example, the Wizards of the Coast and what they have been doing with Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering is nothing. But let me know in the comments down below what your opinion is, if you are very well versed in this. And it says, Henry Cavill has shown his appreciation and pride in having the opportunity to work with Amazon, and that's a red flag right there. Rings of Power, Wheel of Time, but then again, I might be surprised. And then one more question comes to mind. He's apparently going to be, from what we know, and I think it's also mentioned in this article, that not only he's going to star in it, but he's going to produce it. And that he will have some word, some say in the matter. But then the question arises, who is going to have the final say? Is it going to be Henry or the studio? I don't know, what do you think? I think, it's my humble opinion, that the studio usually has the final say. Is it not one of the main reasons why Henry Cavill left The Witcher? Well, and it continues. on a Warhammer 40k project on many occasions. The actor, known for his roles in Argyle, Superman, and The Witcher, even called it the greatest privilege of his professional career, because we know, it is very well known about Henry Cavill, that he's a massive Warhammer 40k fan. And that is a good sign, of course, when a fan is involved in such a thing. This can only mean a good thing. But then again, I'm pretty much sure there will be some struggles, there will be some arguments between Henry Cavill and the studio. Because the studio very rarely today wants the same thing as the fans do. And it continues, he has often talked about how Warhammer has been a childhood passion for him, which makes this opportunity to bring it to life on screen a dream come true for him. The details of this new project, like whether it is a show or a movie, are still under wraps. So we do not know yet what it is going to be. In an interview with IGN, Cavill talked about the characters that he was interested in playing from Warhammer lore, including key ones such as the Primarchs or Captain Generals. As fans wait for any kind of news about the project, Cavill's role and character remains a mystery. He said, Warhammer is obviously character-rich, and especially the 40k universe. I suppose I could play a different character from the Warhammer Fantasy universe versus the 40k universe, but I am now just dreaming. I'd have to speak to the guys at Games Workshop and see what happens. A great positive that the show has is that Henry Cavill is not only set to star in the project, but is also an executive producer for it. This makes sure that he can affect some of the choices that the show takes, especially since he wants it to be as faithful as possible to the Warhammer lore. This is the stuff I've been dealing with since I was a kid. This is the stuff I spend my free time daydreaming about as an adult as well, and I get to bring it into life. There is no greater reason that I joined the industry than doing something like this. In a different interview with IGN, he talked about how the project was a step in making his lifelong dream come true. Just the fact that he has been this passionate about it since he was a child makes his presence that much better. Right, the Warhammer project has a long road ahead before it reaches screens. That's what I predicted. Anyway, that's what I predict. While it may seem as if the project is all sunshine, there have been a few challenges. There's a recent controversy regarding the introduction of a female custody into the Adeptus Custodes in Warhammer 40k, which we've already mentioned and discussed. Initial rumors suggested that Henry Cavill might leave the project because of this new lore retcon, but those turned out to be mostly for clickbait, since the actor hasn't made any such update. But the controversy itself has raised some questions among fans about the portrayal of female characters in the Warhammer 40k universe. There is a simple solution to the concerns that this controversy has raised. The Adeptus Sororitas, also known as the Sisters of Battle, are an all-female division of the Imperium of Man's State Church who are also strong warriors. Their strong presence in the lore and the badassery has been subject to praise from fans over the years. Well, I mean, you don't have to only focus on Adeptus Sororitas. I mean, it would be cool, but, I mean, why not, like, make a film or a TV show about the Inquisition? I mean, I know, at this point of time, I basically only know the Inquisition, with the Inquisitor Gregor Eisenhorn and his associates, but there are a lot of female Inquisitors. I mean, why not adapt Eisenhorn? If you need to do it, I mean, if it were up to me, you wouldn't adapt anything, but if you need an adaptation, I think that Eisenhorn is very well, easily adaptable, and also you don't need to know the lore at all. In the book, at least, it is nicely explained and summarized to you throughout the book. I mean, just as an aside, if you are interested in getting into Warhammer 40k, and if you've never read anything about the lore or really the stories, if you've never even approached Warhammer 40k, such as I had, just start with Eisenhorn. I think you'd like it. If the new Amazon Warhammer 40k project with Cavill focuses on the Adeptus Sororitas, it could sidestep the controversy and shine a light on an already fan-favorite faction within the Warhammer universe. I mean, there are females, like, normally in the Warhammer 40k universe throughout, all the strata of the society of the Imperium of Men. So I wouldn't be worried about, that they are not represented. They are absolutely they are represented. It's just, they were talking about clickbait. I think that Fandom Wire here also does a little bit of a clickbaity stuff right there. However, I'm interested in what Henry Cavill does with it, even though I hate adaptations. But I am interested because of the simple fact that he is a genuine fan. And I'm interested what he does with it. So let me know in the comments down below what you think, and that will be all. Thank you very much for watching, and Namari.